This video will include massive spoilers for 20th Century Boys, so if you haven't read it, please do and just accept the fact that you'll have to deal with the live action for as long as the Queen of England is alive. The 20th Century Boys is one of the big names in the manga world, and arguably one of the best mystery thrillers ever made, and it will never get an anime adaptation. So for the obvious part, it's long. Like pretty long. Like average American plumber long. It is 24 volumes with 21st Century Boys included, and its close companion Monster with 18 volumes turned out amazing with 74 episodes. However, this is longer and includes way more content, so for a good adaptation it would have to be between 100 and 150 episodes long, maybe even more, and that is sadly not worth it for any studio. Look, haven't you seen the slight pattern with shonen and shitty romance shows that run for 12 episodes each and all look exactly the same? So a seinen thriller with Naoki Urasawa's art style isn't even close to what's currently being adapted. It would have to look older than it is, just like, yep, you guessed it, 1986 Wounded Man. What I'm trying to say is, even if a studio decided to make an adaptation of this, there would have to be a few crucial steps to really succeed. Mainly length and animation, but also a third one. A sneaky one that I could just skip to shorten this video down and finally go to sleep in my e-boy bedroom, and that is copywriting. We all know it, and it's the reason I can't use Arctic Monkey songs without being smacked in the face by Alex Turner and Susan Not a Chance at the same time. And the 20th Century Boys has a lot of them, and most are band names, and we all know what happened to JoJo with that. Poor pale snake. From the Rolling Stones to the Beatles, and none of it would be included in an anime adaptation. I looked into it, and it seems as if the real problem is using the names in subtitles, displaying a CD, or using a song. But the song that they pretty much have to use is of course 20th Century Boy. It's the song that plays in the first chapter of the manga. It's the song that Kenji sings in the truck on Bloody New Year's Eve on the way to his death. It's the song that caught Katsumata's attention and prevented him from committing suicide. It's the song that Friend plays in the background of his final speech, and the actual name of the manga. But the S in the title is still a mystery to this day, and getting the actual rights to the song would be really hard. Like Average American Plumber hard. Okay, I'm really sorry. The song is very old and still pretty famous to this day, although I do think you could skip most of these or change them all to royalty-free Lo-Fi Girl. What was his childhood friend group obsessed with in the 60s? Lo-Fi Girl. What saves Katsumata's life? Lo-Fi Girl. What did Kenji play on his guitar day and night? The Rolling Stones.
Your video
please
has
no,
been
please,
claimed.
no! Luckily, the Gutalala song is completely original and the Elohim Assames don't exist in real life. If they chose to ignore the music references, I think it would still be fine. But this is probably enough of an off-put for hardcore fans of the series to not shut up on Twitter and call the manga better. On the bright side, the 97 different Astro Boy references and other manga references seem to be fine since they are in the same industry. If any studio is up for this challenge of adapting this into an anime with more extra steps than Mario 3D World has extra worlds, this is totally a call out by the way. I'll be more than happy to experience this. Another thing is that its close companion Monster got an anime adaptation roughly 3 years after it ended, and 20th Century Boys ended over 15 years ago. I just really doubt this will ever become an anime. I would definitely want an anime adaptation of it, and to be fair, even if they announced it, I'll probably have a wife and kids before it would be released. And then I would watch every episode for 3 years straight only to realize, damn, the manga's better. I wanted to have a bit of after talk, I guess you can call it. For most mangas I read, they're just entertaining. But I know if I go back to them in 10 years and read them again, I'm just not gonna enjoy them. And then there are mangas like this that's just an entirely different experience. It almost feels weird to give it a 10 out of 10 because it's just so ahead of everything else. Even other 10 out of 10s. I actually got this spoiled to me before I read it, because I accidentally read the first sentence on the backside of 21st Century Boys, just to make sure it was in English when I was buying it. And it says, The war is over, the friend is dead. But that was basically all I know, so I still had an amazing time reading it. Like I think I've mentioned before, Monster has been my favorite anime for such a long time, and it was still one of the first I ever watched. So you can really say I had my expectations high with this one. I basically thought it was going to be a 10 out of 10 before I even started it, which is a very risky thing to do, but I'm just so glad I was right. I feel like I'm finally developing a bit of a taste in manga. Although saying 20th Century Boys is amazing is one of the last things I think I would consider a taste. But for a lot of mangas I feel like I read them and then I realize afterwards how amazing they were. But for this it was just amazing all the way through it, and I knew I was reading one of the best I was ever going to read. So that just made me enjoy it so much more. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got the answers to what you were looking for, and I hope this little after talk thing wasn't way too annoying. Well, bye.